as we go into 2022 and as we looked at our theme and really my goals for this year, the focus is culture and really what makes up being a Keiretsu Forum member. For almost 15 years, we primarily operated as an in-person membership organization. And in March of 2020, when the world shut down and we were pushing towards a big expo on April 4th, I mean, I will never forget the timeline of what transpired, and what we thought was just going to be 3 weeks has now turned into nearly 2 years. And a lot of things have shifted. And we've been able to see the shifting in numbers for funding for our companies, shifting in participation in our events, growth within our membership. But we're all online and it's a little strange. And so as we get back to in-person functions and gatherings here over 2022, which is a focus and will happen, we will be keeping some things online. And really, I wanted to take a moment to set the foundation for 2022 as we go forward and how we show up to this process and really what it means to be a part of this organization and what it means to be a Keiretsu Forum member. And it really boils down to 4 different things. The first one is engagement. Now, I can sit here and talk all day long, but this meeting is here for all of you. The companies are here for you. I am here to facilitate, and that is my job, is to facilitate the discussion that happens between the companies and with you. And Keiretsu Forum does not work without you all here participating and engaging and asking questions and leveraging that background and that expertise. We can only be experts in so many things. We cannot be experts in everything. And we're looking to really advance the future, fund these opportunities, and work together. And that's really where it comes in. And we create a lot of space for that to occur within our forums. But I just wanted to re-emphasize the importance of engagement, and we'll continue to re-emphasize this throughout this year. We all have busy schedules. I think the number one thing I hear out of people's mouths is, I am busy, I am busy, I am busy. Yes, I am busy too. I have 3 children. We run a company. I have 400 investors I work with. I work to support all of you. We are all busy. But where do you prioritize? Where do you schedule? Where do you choose that you want to engage? Where do you find it's best spent for you to be here, to be participating? And so I really encourage you, as we go throughout this year, as we build out our calendar for 2022, prioritize. What are the meetings that are important to you? Maybe it's term sheet committee. Maybe it's the forum meetings. Maybe it's a committee meeting for life science or technology. Whatever it might be and how it works with your schedule, we have as many opportunities that could keep you busy 40 hours a week that you could want to participate in. But how do you actually prioritize and schedule that in advance to make sure that you attend? And then when you're here and in your meetings, be actively participating. We can hear from the same 4 people throughout the meeting, but does that actually add value and benefit? We're here all working together. And so I really want to strongly encourage active participation. When you have a question, put it into the chat. All of that goes back to the companies. We support the companies there. And when we engage in Mindshare, turn on your video. Let us see you. I understand that your video doesn't need to be on throughout the duration of the meeting, but when you are engaging and participating in the meetings, do that. Also, one of our goals that we have for this year is to engage more in due diligence. We have found over the years that it's the same 25 people that do a majority of the reports. There are a lot of you that are participants in the organization, and there's a lot of you that benefit and you invest off of these reports. If you are interested in investing in a company, please do sign up for due diligence. We recommend at least 1 to 2 per year to just help contribute to the overall group. You have expertise, you have knowledge to share. That's why you joined, is to be able to be a part of this. It doesn't need to be a heavy lift. And I have worked to streamline our due diligence process so that it's 4 to 6 weeks. We're also leveraging interns to take out the writing piece of it. We've heard your feedback. We're working on upgrading our due diligence to make sure that that is a lighter lift and an ask. And really what you're doing is you're getting your questions answered, because that is the biggest part of due diligence, is getting your questions answered in your area of expertise. So if you are interested in any of these companies today, I would encourage you to sign up for due diligence. Come see our new process, how it's going to be working, how it is very much as thorough as it was before. We've just added in a lot more support for our members to be able to help ease that lift, so it doesn't seem like so much work. But it's really important for you to get to know these entrepreneurs, get to know the CEOs, and see if this is a good fit for you and your portfolio as you go forward. Another way you can engage and share is to join a Mindshare forum. We launched this at the beginning of 2020. I will be launching my 6th Mindshare forum at the start of next month. The people that are participating in Mindshare forum right now are getting a tremendous value, looking at their portfolio, seeing who's not communicating, getting help, getting support, getting what needs to come back to them to be able to make an investment decision, looking at their pipeline. I want to diversify into life science, but I don't know a lot about it. Can you help me with that? And really creating these diverse, small, intimate, confidential groups has created a pathway for people to write their first checks, for people to get their questions answered, and to support one another as they really look forward to diversifying their overall investment portfolio. And then lastly, and most importantly, you receive out of your membership what you put into it. And if you just show up at the meetings and you sit in the background and you don't engage with people, you're not going to get a lot out of it. You might learn a few things from the Mindshare portion, but I would encourage you to show up and participate actively. That's where you're really going to see that value benefit. People will get to know who you are. We reach out to one another. We learn in new ways now. We build relationships in new ways, and that's evolved over the last 2 years. I cannot stress this engagement portion enough. And really, as we go forward into this year and what post-pandemic life looks like, how are we going to do this and do it well, that we receive the value and benefit of our dollars spent, and we're getting out of it what we want. Now, we have a full-time staff here to support you every step of the way. And really with that, if something is not meeting your needs, what we need you to do is communicate. Now, I talked about this all last year, and I really feel like the horse has been beaten dead. But I continue to speak to companies, and people are signing up for interest and then not responding. And it's just not how we show up. If you are interested in moving forward and looking at an investment in a company, it's your job to respond to them. You are on your list. Your name is like screaming out to them as they're trying to just get their fundraising done. If you're not interested anymore, that's totally fine. Just let them know. We need open, honest, timely, direct communication. And this is not just within this forum. This is just in life in general. I feel still over the last couple of years, ghosting and just quit responding to people is something that happens. I feel like if people get the feedback that they need, they can learn and they can grow. Whatever that may be, it doesn't always have to be positive. It can be constructive and be honest. But we need to be able to communicate better with one another. And our team is here to support and make sure that you have everything that you need. And if you're not receiving it, you need to let us know, because as much over my 42 years of life on this planet, I still have not been able to really master the skill of mind reading. It's not something I'm good at. So please continue to communicate with one another. And with that communication and what really comes from that as we go forward is, then focusing on the education and how we really learn with one another and continue to grow. So we're going to continue to support the core values and deal them here. We're laying the foundation this month once again, and we will continue throughout the year. We will be moving away from ProCedar this year. That will happen. It will be completely sunsetted by the end of the year. And so that's something to definitely keep in mind as we go forward. But in February, I would like to be able to look at Angel investing best practices. How do we get companies to communicate with us? What are we looking for in valuation? What are we looking for in term sheets? How do you manage your portfolios? How do you work with your CEOs? For the experienced investors on the line, how do you do this? And what makes it work for you? And I'm going to launch a poll here in just a second to be able to really see if you're able to contribute and really engage and support the overall membership throughout this year in these different areas. In March, we're going to be covering term sheets and cap tables again. It constantly comes up, and there are questions. We have our term sheet committee. We need to continue to be better and look at these areas. There are nuances in these contracts that can have great impacts on us in the tiniest of words. And really, the cap tables are the foundation of the business. And so if you're able to really look at that and make sure it's set as you go forward, that's what's going to really make a great investment. Amber has put up a poll here. If you are interested in investing or have expertise in any of these areas, please let us know. We want to be able to leverage the membership. It's just a 20-minute conversation to the membership before the forum meeting. It is not a heavy ask. It's just sharing your knowledge and expertise. We have due diligence that we conduct, but how do you get from conducting due diligence to writing a check? What does that look like? And then really being able to get that ROI. And so we'll be covering that in April, really looking at best practices there and those decision-making processes that go into writing a check. And then so much of what we fund is go-to-market strategy. What makes a good go-to-market strategy? What types of businesses are we looking at? And how is that going to impact us? And how are those dollars going to be spent as we go forward and into that growth stage, which is probably the hardest stage of the process, and that acceleration to get to exit? What are we putting in place, and what are we looking for in due diligence? In June, we'll be covering clean tech investing and multiple different segments of clean tech investing. We can partner with NREL, look at that and other clean tech groups to be able to see how do we diligence these companies? What are we looking for? Knowing that there's some longer plays, but there's also a lot of non-dilutive funding going into this, which is great. And we need this innovation right now. How can we expand there? And then I am going to give kudos to Gio here because he really helped us with this one. But beyond the hype, augmented and virtual reality. We keep hearing like, oh, this has a VR, or this has an AI, artificial intelligence. There's some sort of thing going on that, seems like a great buzzword, but does it actually mean something to us? And what are we looking for? In August, we do plan to hold an in-person expo. That date is August 11th, and it will be here in Redmond. So pending all things, we really do feel that we'll be able to host that in person and really throw a big party. In September, beyond the hype, blockchain and crypto, looking at that. I know we have some experts on the line here in this chapter that can help support in that topic. October, looking at all the different areas of life science investing. FDA regulatory pathways, pharmaceuticals, med tech devices. What does that look like? What does it mean? And then digging into that deeper. And then November, technology investing. We hear, it looks easy. Enterprise SaaS, you just look at the different, but integration's hard. Gio knows this. Other members know this that have, spent a lot of time in the tech world. Technology is not always easy. What are we looking at there? And then finally in December, what is your moat? And exploring IP. And this is not just looking at patents. This is looking at soft IP, trade secrets, copyrights, trademarks, everything that goes into really protecting the business. And so we will be conducting longer educational sessions too, with all of these topics each month, and really looking to do that either at our social events or through a due diligence training when we have those. So please do keep that in mind. Some other topics that we're also looking for to do is the implications of Canadian investors investing in the US, conversely, US investors investing in Canada, and being able to have an open discussion about that, understanding what are the tax implications particularly, with that, and making sure that we're set up for success one way or the other, as well as diving in deeper in due diligence, in angel investing 101, et cetera. So we do have a robust education program. This is extremely important to us. If you do have any expertise or knowledge in any of these areas, please do let us know. We'll take down your names. We'll talk to you. We'll see how it can fit in, and go forward from there. So thank you so much to everybody who has completed the poll thus far. We greatly appreciate it. And then the last value that really we need to hold dear is perseverance, because what we're doing is not easy. We are very special people that are passionate about supporting these companies, about supporting innovation, about doing things that are hard, about not resisting the fact that it's hard, and really embracing that it's hard and looking to problem solve, have that growth mindset to go forward and achieve success. And we've shown commitment to it time and time and time again. And it's with that that we're going to make the future better. It's with that that we're going to help make the world a better place. It's with that that we can help make medicine better to support one another and help create healthier people, and really help to improve the way the world works, not just for us, not just for my kids, but for my kids' kids and their kids' as we continue to go forward. And so do take a moment to really think about these 4 things. Think about how you're going to engage, how you're going to prioritize participating, what you want your membership experience to look like, how you're going to show up, how you're going to communicate and respond to the companies that come through, how you're going to participate in education. What are those important topics for you? What do you need to get better at this year? What do you need to dive into more? Because we're constantly learning, and knowing that it's hard. It's all hard stuff. But we will be successful because that's what we do. And we're angel investors, and that's what we've been doing for many, many years. And we love it, and we're not going to stop just because it's hard. So that is my little speech, I guess, on what it means to me as I look at this membership culture as we go forward, and what we really want to cultivate within this group as we move through this transition. And it's not easy. And it's not going to look the same when we come out of it. But we can still do great things regardless. So I thank you for your time in listening to that.